Hello everyone, I'm Oliveblade and welcome to my Wonderland. Today, slapping an Ami box on the table. What do we have today? I have 2 pre-orders, which I'm super excited for. 2 of my favorite characters. Getting out the knife and let's crack open this bad boy. Haven't got anything recently from Ami and I actually completely forgot that you can't pay in advance for these figures that you pre-order, which was embarrassing when someone asked me on my Discord channel if they were able to, because they haven't ordered from there before, and I haven't ordered from here much. And the last time I did was quite a few months ago and I had completely forgotten. But just to clarify, yes, when you pre-order from Ami, you don't pay upright, you pay when it comes out. And taking out this gorgeous card are the classic mascot of Amico, and it's by... Oh, I know these little cats. Oh, Blade. Ironic, considering we have a similar name. But as every time I look at those cats, I think of this gorgeous kind of cheeky figure, which is a SkyTube one that they did also the illustration for, which I won't lie, I wouldn't mind getting, even though it's on the risque side. But never mind that. I adore the artwork. And now let's get into what I actually bought. Pretty well packed, and I like that there's not much really extra space, and the price on the postage was actually pretty good. And as you can see, I've got 2 pop-up parade figures. First out of the box, and it is a Shiro from No Game No Life crown version. Won't lie, her box seems a little excessive, and what is that in there? Is that like a plastic seat? We'll get to that later. And bringing out, I've been dying for a new Erza Scarlet figure, and they've done another pop-up parade. And yes, I know we're all praying for Heaven's Will, and I believe I probably commented on the My Figure page that I wanted that as well. But we still got this one, and I am still super keen to open up. So then, who to open up first? Kevin, I know, stop your cuckooing, I'm gonna open them. So, on Ami listing, they are both listed up for 3,300 yen, which is about 24 USD dollars. Not bad. And my postage, which I got DHL, which actually was better than I thought. It was about $32 USD, though GST ended up being about $8 USD. So, but a lot better than I thought. Now, having a little look at the box, and it's the quite simple design. I love that you can see the majority of the figure in there, and they've really made use of the space of this. Like, it's quite a small box, but it gives lots of protection to the figure. But yes, I would love it if they would make the box a bit more character specific, I guess, since they're marketing it as a cheaper figure. Maybe this makes it a bit cheaper manufacturing, I'm not too sure. But just having a look at the box, and you've got the sticker of that authenticity, which I keep zooming up on. I like how they have the face area a bit more clear so you can see the character's face clearly. Again, looking at that sticker. But I can't wait to open her. I love the pose. One thing, however, her pants color, like the yellow, is not looking very yellowish, so I'm not too sure how I feel about that. Let's crack her open and see if I feel better. Let's release her from the plastic prison. Oops, that's that pretty cleanly. And you got the boring box. I mean, yep, it does its job. And I guess you see the majority of the figure, so yep. What more can one say? Now then, she has a very similar base color to her other pop-up parade, which I actually quite like that they're keeping it the same color for the same characters. So if you put them together, they'll have a similar base color. Not that I'm keen on the colors, but I do love the figure's sculpt and design and the character they portray enough to buy it despite the base design. Now then, opening her up and talking about the base, let's have a little look at it. I quite like the triangle look. I just wish all of them were clear, and luckily with the Shiro one, she has more of a clear base than that. But and the purple's not too bad for Erza, in my opinion. Looking at the back, you can see the authentic print writing. Here we are. But yeah, even though it's interesting how they post some of the characters which you can't really put together, like the bases exactly, because it just seems awkward with how they've got them facing. So at least that's what I had when I put her with the other Erza. But let's get on to the quality of this figure. So pulling out her swords, the handles are quite dull, but I thought they painted different colors on the blades, but they're actually, just because of the sculpt, you can see the reflection there. How cool is that? So it makes it seem like an actual blade. Now let's see if I can pull her out just using the blades. Nah, I better not. She's such a weighty figure. I pulled out, I'm like, oh, this is heavy. And they have her in a bit of a bag. I'm like, oh, you don't want to break anything off, God forbid. But this is new. I guess that's probably easy to prevent paint transfer. And just take out the bag, and you see, quite weighty. And thus far, I am loving the design. Her eyes just, I don't know what it is about them, but unlike the first one, which was pretty stone, that these ones are so alive, which I think is it makes sense because of this form. This is kind of her just trying to let it loose and go really hardcore, anything can happen form. And I love her hair sculpt and design, so beautiful. Her tattoo's done really well there, but the pants, I looked at them and my first thought was they look quite like a vomit color. I'm sorry, because it's so much pride in the anime. Though I love how they finished off the sculpt here, and you've got the calves, how they've sculpted the toes too. They sculpted underneath, so you get a bit of detail. All that hair is just to die for though. And the bandages are not too bad. I like that little one around her arm there. That is so cool. Forgot they had that detail. And the, I guess her breasts with the bandages, I think that was a few things that some people were a bit about. I actually quite like it. They could have made it a bit more flattering, but I think it's quite cool despite of that. And I just love the purse. Anyway, let's try to put these katanas in. I thought maybe I had to pull off the end, but then I'm like, like the first Erza that didn't have any instructions, but I didn't think so. So hopefully no paint transfer. Here goes nothing. I did have to check a reference quickly before I did this, just to see which way the swords were aligned. First one on, so good. It didn't seem like any paint transfer as well. And yep, it goes that side of the hair. I was like, oh no, definitely not the other side. Put that in. And pretty simple. Doesn't that look so cool? Oh, I love this. Oh, I know she's such a simple figure, but I won't lie, the pop-up line, some figure poses, and they're just for what they are, is pretty. I do love them. That's why I do get them. They're just, but those pants color, I wish I was more yellow. Anyway, put her on her base. Now all together, let me give you a quick showcase and show a bit more of this gorgeous figure. Now then, moving on to our second guest of today, and that is Shiro, crown version. I quite adore her sniper version, so it'll be interesting to compare. I have already seen some pictures of this one, and I am not disappointed thus far, but to have her in person, let's see. Her box is very identical to her first box, just the difference being the text, and that's it. The Erza one probably was the same, but for whatever reason, maybe it's the colours of this box that is just so reminiscent of the first one. She's packaged quite well, though she's like almost, not double the size, but maybe has 1/4 more of her box size than the Erza one. And I'm thinking, but then again, the cost of this to ship it over wasn't too bad. So I'm not, and the more thing I'm thinking of is storing boxes. But regardless, let's crack her open. I quite love the pastel colors I've chosen, even with the simplistic design. But they're missing out on just doing simplistic pixels. I just think that would have looked so cool with the No Game No Life theme. Oh, and yeah, this is me looking at this. It just looks like a chair. I'm pretty sure this is the support for her hair. But let's crack her out of that plastic prison and see how we feel about that. And inside the box, you've got the pop-up parade on the bottom as well. I flipped it up the wrong way, and yep. Now, she has tape in the similar places. Oh, I don't like that they put it at the top, because when I cut through, I feel like the head's closest to the edge, and I feel like I'm going to cut it. I wish they would put it slightly off the side, closer to the bubble that's closest to us at the moment. Oh, I just feel a bit more safe about cutting it slightly. Now that I'm pulling this out, kind of looks like a see-through seashell chair, but we'll see how we feel about that. As I keep saying, taking out the base. So this is my favorite base because it's the clear design base, so I'm glad that she has that, and it's very similar. Well, it's the same as the other one. Looking at the text, well, it really doesn't want to focus on this one, but I think you can see it and get the idea for authenticity. Putting that on, and let's grab her out. I can't wait to look at this hair. It's already looking so divine. She is so cute. Precious. Oh my goodness. And her hair as well. I do lean towards loving her hair being more towards white than towards the blue, but in some cases I don't mind liking this design. She has a bit more plastic to her than the Erza, which makes sense because of her hair. Oh my goodness. Look at the sculpt of her clothes. So pretty. Her legs, though, are so thin. I didn't feel like they were going to snap, but I'm like, oh, they're very thin and not very prominent. But, oh, that hair sculpt. Look at that. And the hair coloring is just perfect. So beautiful. You know, I just adore hair, so this is just ticking all the boxes for me. The tights are shiny, but not as shiny as the sniper one, if I remember correctly. So I love that. I love the sculpt of the skirt. The tie is so cool too. Oh, her eyes. Zooming up, let's have a close. Those eye decals are gorgeous. Her expression is spot on. But I'm spotting to the left-hand side, you can see a little bit of grit that's gone into the paint job, which is just, it's sad because it's right in the front part of her fringe there. Oh, a little frustrating. Her crown is very beautiful, though there's no sort of pink or red in it. I believe there was at least one gem that was red or pink in it, so not sure how I feel about just blue and green in it, if that makes sense. Now, I was hoping to get a satisfying click, and that's all that happened. No click, and I'm like, is that incorrectly? And yep, the peg at the back to hold her hair up, and there we have it. Let's have a bit more of a look at this figure in closer showcase. So, doing a figure scale comparison, I thought I'd bring out a few, and I'm quite loving the selection. Starting with Erza. On the left hand side, we have the 1/8 scale Fairy Tale Erza Scarlet Hakama version by Amakumi Hobby Japan. Then moving along, we have, of course, my latest Good Smile figure Pop-Up Parade Demon Blade Bennett Sakura version of Erza Scarlet from the final season. Then next over we have the regular version of Erza in her knight armor, also Pop-Up Parade by Good Smile. And lastly, a pop final of the same outfit because I thought it would be fun to compare. And since I don't have a Nendroid yet, they've announced Lucy, so I hope that they will do Erza next. Even though Grey is also a great candidate, but still, do my redhead queen, please. Oh my goodness. So in comparison, she's actually quite larger to the other Erza, and I love how they've made the hair a bit more dynamic, and even though I'm not too sure how I feel about it being slightly bigger to small. And then we have the Shiros here, in which we have the Pop-Up Parade, the first one, the sniper version just behind there that came out before this one, that is slightly bigger than this one. But I quite love their different styles, they definitely have their own personality. And then we have the Good Smile Nendoroid, and the Kotobukiya Shiro as well. Pretty sure she's 1/7 scale too, but looking at them all, I think she fits in quite well. And I don't even notice the hair stand at the back, which is pretty cool, the chair as I was calling it before. But I do love, it does capture her cute, sort of focused, kind of aloof look. I would have loved if they added, I guess on the Nendoroid too, if they added a tiny bit of orange gradient to her necktie, her sailor tie. That would have just, I think, made it perfect in my opinion. But otherwise, I quite love them. And now getting back to a quick note about the Erzas, as you can see, I love the handles on the 1/8 scale there, and you come over the same outfit and the handles aren't as detailed on the pop-up. And then I was thinking maybe as far as detail manufacturing wise, maybe they couldn't do that within the budget. But then her first pop-up raid had a bit more of detail in her sword, as well as the handle having two colours and being way more complex. So I feel like they still could have done it with the classic cross-hatching katana handle wrapping. I'm not sure what it's called, I'm sorry. But I think you get my point. So that's probably one thing I would add to that if I wanted to make it just perfect. But otherwise, for the price and accessibility, I do adore these pop-ups of these two characters. You know, I love them quite dearly, and I think they've done very well, and they're very, very close to the prototypes that they posted as well, which is a bonus. But they are quite gorgeous. I can't wait to put them in my collection. My Erza Shrine, she's getting quite a few with this outfit now, so we'll see if more outfits go. Oh, yes, please make more outfits. I would die at more outfits. And Shiro, this is gorgeous. I'm glad to get her finally in her original outfit. Be interesting if they do like a battle version of Shui now. Oh, I'd love that. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Quite a cute petite unboxing of some pop-up parades. But I'm so happy. I was so excited with these. So glad they didn't get delayed, and because I got quite a few other figures that were delayed this month. I was meant to get a Kumiko scale, and that's now delayed until next year, which I'm more sad than angry about because I get it. It's a complex figure, and I can't wait to get it. But yeah, I'm just gonna have to wait a bit longer. But that's okay. But I was just so looking forward to it. And then also my No Game No Life Union creative figures got also delayed until September, and I'm feeling like that's going to be also pushed to next year as well. So we'll see. Hopefully my other pre-orders for this year stay on track. Otherwise I'm trying not to buy anything because I'm saving money to pay them off from Ami. And then now that they've been delayed, I'm so tempted to get other things. So gotta stay strong, but some of these new pre-orders are making me weak, I swear. Anyway, regardless of that, thank you again for joining me. Until I see you again next week, be sure to take care, treat yourself, and I'll see you then.